Well, well. Nice job of putting North America on the fast track to success. As a result of your history-altering efforts, you've managed to get quite a reputation.
Wow, that audio file there ended quite abruptly. Welcome back to the 7th episode of a nostalgia playthrough of Railroad Tycoon 2 Platinum Edition. And we are done with the North American part of the campaign. We are now moving on to the UK part of the campaign. So six more scenarios in the UK. And I quite like these.
Hey, you! Do you have any idea how old I already am? Get going!
I have no idea. How old are you? Tell me. Old enough to know that it should be rude to interrupt, I would think. Either way, so you have three options here. 240 John Bull engine available early, and plus 10% increased engine speed. Now that increased engine speed could add up to a lot more profits a lot quicker. Well, slightly more profits slightly quicker over time, which could be good. I believe the John Bull is just you get that from the start either way, so it's not necessarily... like, what's the point? But it's probably just to let you know that you get increased engine speed on it. And they had to include the train's name. You got plus 25% coal revenue, which, yeah, here he goes again. Wake up, old man. Wow, he is really going for it this time. Holy crap, what a snore cycle. Yes, I kinda, want to wait for him to finish. So I can say what I want to say. Dude, wake up, what is this? Are you for real? Okay, that seemed to wake him up. What the heck? Either way, so we have plus 25% coal revenue, as I was saying, and I apologize for this guy snoring. There's really not that much I can do about it, except for maybe this. I don't know. Yeah, coal revenue, that's a very specific type of revenue. I don't think that's where we're going to be making a lot of money. 50,000 really isn't that much. So I don't think this is a viable option. You got one level improvement in credit rating and plus 30% stock price as an option also. Which, credit rating, you get your company going, your credit rating is going to be good. So this is like good in the start. Plus 30% stock price is also good in the start. Now in this scenario, you have to merge with other railroads and be the only remaining railroad by the end of it. Plus 30% stock price could make that a bit harder to do. So I would suggest, with the plus 10% to increase engine speed, huh? Well, probably option 1 is the one to go for. I would say. So, let's move on.
In jolly old England, all this industrialization is really putting a cramp on the country. Coal fields are busting with ore needing to reach the cities. Textile mills are finding new markets abroad. See if you can put an end to the quibbling competition and become the dominant line. The margins will be very tight, so be careful of waste. And tie your shoes.
I'm noticing that they're actually reusing a little bit of the video footage. I think it's like episode 3 or 4 we saw some of the same clips, but whatever, that's not a big deal. I'm not exactly playing this game to see the videos. But either way, let's read the scenario briefing now. The invention of the steam engine has brought a great leap in the British economy. Now is your chance to grab a share of that new wealth. Build your railway and dislodge your opponents from the railway industry. Players who lose control of the company cannot start a new one. To win a bronze victory, have the highest personal net wealth at the end of 1855, so in 20 years from now. I guess 21. But either way, for a silver victory, your personal net worth must also exceed 10 million. For a gold victory and a place in British history, have a personal net worth of at least 20 million and be the sole surviving railroad. Now, there's many ways you can do this. And the way that I do it is I kinda adapt a little bit as I play and see what my options are. So, yeah, we're just gonna say, I mean, London is obviously maybe the best place to start, I would say. There's a lot of houses in London. You have a tool and die factory, turning iron and aluminium into goods. And a meatpacking plant, obviously turning cattle into food, which we have been using a lot in previous scenarios. Then you have Oxford and Slough. Slough has 4 houses, Oxford has 4 houses. Maidstone over here also has 4. But I kind of want to get a viable passenger line going off the start here. Let's just see, how much would it cost to connect London to, say, Birmingham? Probably quite a bit. Well, if we exclude the bridge. Okay, let's just drag it like this. Yeah, we could connect to Birmingham. And I'm seeing, like, there's a lot of houses in Birmingham. I think it's probably the closest larger city. It's a bit of an interesting scenario. I like the change of scenery from the US to UK. Been a lot of US stuff lately. I'm just looking around now to see if I see any, just at a quick glance, any good options of potential other starting locations. But I think you're pretty much meant to start in London, though. So we look at it. Alright, I need 2 stations before I can start adding trains. There was a wooden bridge, though. Yeah, we only have 1 bridge option, actually. And it's a single track one. Okay, seemingly we want to avoid bridges in this scenario. As much as we can, anyway. So I'm looking around here, and we have produce here, we have a farm there, we have a bakery, we have meatpacking plant. Also meatpacking plant there, we have a textile mill turning wool into goods on this scenario. I think we started, can we issue bonds? Let's do that real quick, because we're probably going to be needing that. We could also issue stock, I suppose. Not entirely sure we want to do that. That's basically going to be leading to more stock that we need to buy back. And with an interest rate of 15%, that is 75,000 we need to pay back every year on these bonds. So yeah, we don't want to take too many bonds to that. We want to repay that as fast as possible, basically. Okay, we got Thomas Crampton here. Train speed steam 10% faster. That's good. Track maintenance 10% higher. Not the best. Acceleration 10% faster. What's this sound? Why am I hearing this sound? I can't recall having heard that before, actually. Well, let's see what other managers we get. Fuel cost cheaper. I don't think fuel cost is very much at this day and age of 1835 anyway. So we'll just keep this guy. It's honestly my favorite early game manager. And I think we connect up London here like this. And we start thinking like, I want to just head to Birmingham, right? I want to get passenger trains going between London and Birmingham. I think that will be our initial thing. There are some other cities here I wouldn't mind swinging by though, so how do we lay our tracks? Like, we could swing by here so we can go put a station in Slough at some point. It would have to be here. Yeah, I think that works. Right, that should do the trick, I believe. So let's do that. I'm laying double track because I'm going to be running trains both ways. Okay, we need 1 more step down there, and then we can connect that later. So we take it from there. Trying to have good gradient here as much as I can. That looks fine. I want to swing through Oxford as well. Just want to see, where would I need the station to be? That shouldn't be problematical. Yeah, certainly less problematical than connecting that, apparently. So we don't want to build bridges, that's not going to be good for us. So if we just lay the tracks like this, and go straight for Birmingham, huh? Then we can add on more stations on these other cities later. And Birmingham will be enough with a medium station. And we can expand that later. This encompasses everything Birmingham has to offer. So in the interest of saving a little bit of money, let's do it this way. Now let's have a look at our trains. So we got a Trevetic 1. Extremely poor in every aspect, but not so expensive to run, I guess. But this is the one that we supposedly get earlier. Just looking at, like, these stats are terrible on either of the trains. To do it Clinton though. Why would I take the John Bull over to do it Clinton? We're not really reaching 2% gradient that much. Okay, so here's the thing. The do it Clinton, like if you look, if I'm hauling 5 or more cars, do it Clinton will be better. And if I'm having a little bit of gradient to deal with, then the do it Clinton will be better. Just looking at the top speeds down here, trying to compare back and forth. From what I'm seeing, I think, what kind of... You got 3 cars in each station. But that's just right now, though. Extremely poor acceleration, though, and poor reliability, compared to poor acceleration and below average reliability. The John Bull will cost us an additional 4,135 to run per year, if my math isn't too bad. It's more expensive to begin with. I think maybe we go with the John Bull, due to the acceleration being poor instead of extremely poor, basically, and having a little bit better reliability. So this is a pretty long haul we're going for here. So hopefully we can make some good money when our trains decide to reach the station. There's not a lot of goods available on this map, apparently. Yeah, we're loading up with 3 cars in London. We'll have another John Bull going from Birmingham to London with the 3 passenger cars, and we're gonna micromanage quite a bit. Let's get a roundhouse, sanding tower and water tower in both of these cities right here. And I have half a mind to put another station down. How much? Okay, so how much could I get for some shares? Issue stock 78k. Yeah, we're gonna do that so that I can put a medium station. That will probably expand in the future. So I want that here. Ah, Lord, do I want to do this though? Because the thing is, I'm afraid, and I don't know, that on this length of rail here, there will be like some sand and water issues. And we need to refill that at like the halfway point. That's my fear anyway. Let's just start with a small station so we don't eat too much cost on upgrading. I'm not sure if this is necessary, but I would rather be safe than sorry. So this is my take on it. We're not going to go into Oxford and do anything just yet. I'm just going to start gathering up a little bit of grain, I guess. We don't really have anywhere to take it until we can connect slow, or however you say that. If you watched my previous episodes, you'll probably notice that I'm not always saying the right names of things or saying them correctly. So we're just gonna start here, let these trains do the bidding, or do the job. Yeah, they're gonna be making like $1 million when they hit home. Ish, around there. Unless we have a recession or anything hit. So let's hope we don't. Your financial advisor, not plural, has made contact with an importer from India. This fellow has some very well connected associates who would like to secure your delivery services for $350,000. Unfortunately, handling his cargo will slow things up for a bit at the stations. 10% slower turnaround. For 1 year. No one ever mentioned the word opium. Okay, so I'm thinking about 10% slower turnaround on the stations for a year. I mean, I'm gonna take this. I'll just do that, and maybe we want to get some more trains running between here, depending on how long it takes these trains to get to their destination. Time will tell. I mean, when these trains are at the halfway point, I guess we could get a third train on the line. Yeah, because as you can see here now, passengers and such, it's starting to pile up in London. Let's get that transported over to Birmingham. So we're getting a third train. And we're going to keep an eye on Birmingham and London to see if maybe we even get a fourth train. Yeah, I think we do. Like, okay, we can micromanage these 4 trains, and it's probably going to be good for profits. Past 4 trains, micromanaging becomes painful and annoying, simply because you can only have 4 trains in your visibility here at the same time. And while we have the money now, I suppose we just buy a roundhouse. No, not a roundhouse, we upgrade to a large station, I mean. So we shat away 50,000 on this original station here, but that is fine. So now Oxford is also viable. We can deliver passengers and mail here, but it's not like a huge city. There's 4 houses. I don't think we're gonna bother with it, if I'm honest, because the micromanagement will just be too annoying to deal with, having to scroll up and down, and I'm gonna be messing up, missing trains, and I'm gonna be going with suboptimal loads out of stations. So is it worth it? It's gonna be a lot of stress, and it's gonna be annoying. Oh, that's not good. Yikes. The Great Western Railway caught transporting opium in Britain. I.K. Brunel stated he knows nothing of the incident and will cooperate with the authorities. GWR stock down 25%. I guess that's a bit unlucky. I'm not sure what our purchasing power was before, but I mean, it could be good for us actually that happened. Because that lowers our stock prices, meaning that we can buy more stocks. Which we are going to do as soon as these trains start arriving at their destinations. Which will take a long time if we run speed 3. I'm going to run speed 4 though. It might not be the quickest, but when I'm just chilling and like letting things run and I'm not like done doing things and just put it on 10 and just get done with it basically, I like to have it on 4. 4 is like a good place you can enjoy the trains moving around. And it isn't too slow, but it isn't too fast, so things are easy enough to keep track of. Yeah, we're going to be making some good money from these trains running back and forth though. Oh, we could buy some shares. No, let's not buy shares actually, because that could result in splitting of the stock. And I don't want splitting of the stock just yet, because, well, it doesn't really matter that much. But, you know, we want to have as many shares as possible for ourselves, so we don't have to buy back too many before starting to pay out dividend to ourselves. Which I forgot to set to 0, but your board of directors has suspended a dividend because the company is not in a financial position to pay it anyway, so there you go. That's usually how it goes when I play, at least. I usually go in the negatives early on. Revenue of 300,000. Interesting. It is taking these trains an entire year to get to their destination though. So the stock price is really low right now. We're gonna buy like... Yeah, we'll short buy once. We're negative 66k. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so we have 5,000 shares out of a total of... well, that's over 50% actually, it seems. There's another... No, it actually isn't. It's a little bit less. It's another 6,000 shares going around. But yeah. Okay, we got... this train is now in London, so let's load it up with everything London has to offer, which is 1 mail and 4 passengers. And we are going to be starting to make some serious money right about now. Which will increase our purchasing power. So that we can buy our competitors. Liverpool and Manchester. Now, let's have a look at what our opponents are doing. This is Liverpool and Manchester. Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily the most profitable line in the world. This could be fine, I guess. So how many shares are actually out there? Ooh, that's quite a lot of shares. No wonder they're so cheap. These are a bit more expensive, but there are less shares out there. 40,000 shares in the market. And 20,000. Actually, 19,000. So, this is kind of best bang for the buck, maybe. Because this, if you double this to match the, to kind of match the shares of these, in the sense that how many we would have to buy to actually buy out the entire company. This would be 40-ish, around there. I don't know, we buy a few here. They haven't started making money yet. We can't go too deep into the AI's pockets just yet, and I think this will do for now. But the thing is, as long as we are profitable, we should be able to keep our purchasing power up. Although I don't want to necessarily mess around too much with it. We do have a lot of money right now, actually. I wonder, if we decided to attempt the merger, if we get half the shares in the company, well, if we have more than 50%, so basically if we have the majority, we can buy up for the cheapest. So we need to get like at least 50% of the shares in the company. Well, 50% and then some. Then we can buy it up. Okay, they actually, so yeah, 40,000 shares outstanding on this one. Total price 960,000. 20,000 on this one, total price 980,000. So it's fairly similar in price actually. In that regard. But no, we're definitely not gonna try that just yet. Okay, I want to see if I can make some other types of profit. We got produce coming out of Oxford here. Let's say we connect slow. Like this. Oh, we... can we get that milk for that dairy thing as well? No, that's not going to be covered, but that's fine. Okay, so we're going to put up a train going through here that we don't need to necessarily manage as much. Did I put a roundhouse here? No. Do I need one? I'll put one in Oxford, I think. Just to be safe. So we're going to get a John Bull going. From Oxford. Slow does need produce, so we're gonna go grain, produce, wait for full load, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on it. So now I'm thinking, do we go to London, because the trains are pretty slow, so we don't want to go too far with them and like crisscross the country too much. I think if we go to London and then back, or do we go to Birmingham and then back to Oxford? Yeah, let's go to Birmingham actually, because that gives us a little bit of a longer transport route. And we could also take on some mail and passenger from Slough. Oof, but that could require some micromanagement. We'll just have to see. I'll keep an eye on it for now. We'll put all these passenger trains on Express because they are the ones that are going to be making us the serious money. Yeah, what other options do we have? We could connect Leicester, but is there really any point in it? We don't need to actually, I mean, $1 million to buy out one of the opponents. Maybe a bit more, but if you look at the profits we're going to be making here, like these 2 trains alone are going to come in at maybe 1.4 million combined just from delivering the loads that they have. So we don't necessarily need to expand that much. You know what, we'll stick with this for now. Right, and we'll see how the opponent goes. How they do, and we'll kind of take it from there, I guess. Our stocks are gonna split, that much is certain. But we had 20 years, right? So by the end of 1855. Okay, so that's good. I hate having to flip through here to keep an eye on things. It's just inconvenient, I would say. But I'm gonna keep an actual eye on this train, so I can select that when it's going into the station. And I'll keep an eye on the other trains here through this tab right here. Alright, so maybe first off we buy a little bit more shares in our own company. Right, how many are on the market now? Not that many. Because it's gonna split by the end of this year, I'm pretty sure. And I'd rather not buy too many more shares when that happens. Okay, so we can't buy short anymore. We don't have the purchasing power. Actually, hang on. Buy back stock, maybe? Yes. That worked? Okay, we bought back stock. Oh, it's gonna split for so much though. But the thing is, okay, so we have 7,000 out of 9,000 shares on the market in our own company. And this guy here has 2,000 of them. Which is unfortunate, admittedly, but... it is what it is. So this train's gonna hit Birmingham. Our purchasing power is good. Now we can't buy back stock though to keep an eye on that, but... Okay, we're just gonna do that just in case I forget about it, because that might happen actually. We're gonna get mail and passenger. Holy shit, we're gonna split like 7 for 1. He's not gonna want to sell his shares. 420 purchasing power. That's nice. But either way, yeah, so... I think we're doing pretty okay already, actually. The London Bullet. What are you loading up? That is an ineffective load. Let's do this instead. Please don't leave the station. Great Western stock is split 7 for 1. That's quite the number. Financial markets applaud. In the second year, we have split 7 for 1. Investors are obviously highly excited about the chairman's performance, and the board of directors increases your salary by 11,000 to 22,000, and I get a bonus. Yeah, we had good revenue. We have good net worth. Well, we needed a net worth of 20 million. We're already 10% of the way there. So Slough here. Yeah, mail and passenger. I guess that's just, we'll run it like that. That should be fine. What I want to do real quick is actually just get a small restaurant and a saloon and a small hotel in London and Birmingham. so we can increase our passenger profits even further. My purchasing power is extremely high right now. Let's buy a few shares in this guy's stock. How many stocks are on the market for this guy? We would need... That was 40,000 total. We need 10,000. Let's buy... like 21,000. My bad. Probably 21,000. So okay, let's look into that. And keeping an eye here. We're gonna be raking in money soon. I don't think we even need to expand the line past this. Oh, look at that. There's an additional 3 passengers there. Yeah, keeping an eye on this train could be good. We're just gonna follow this around so that I know exactly what's going on at all times. So maybe we wait for this share to drop a little bit. Or maybe we... These guys seem to be making a decent profit. Let's buy 5,000 in their company before they split. Long live the Queen. Queen Victoria begins to reign. Stock market rallies as Queen takes the throne. Stock prices rise an average of 12%. Good thing I purchased those stocks right before that happened. Just gonna keep an eye on, yeah, this bastard has 14,000 shares in my company, which is a bit annoying. Well, I was a little bit worried, like if they tank it, right, then our purchasing power goes down. But with that Long Live Queen Victoria event there, we are a little bit safer from going bankrupt, personally. Having this guy not on priority might be a bad idea, actually. Oh, we have the Prussian available right now. Extremely poor acceleration, below average reliability, but if I compare speeds, John Bull and Prussian. The Prussian is simply superior. Right, we're gonna just replace every train with a Prussian. Although extremely poor acceleration, but hopefully that's not gonna matter that much. We're not gonna replace the 5th train here, because that's going to be stopping and starting again a lot of times. And having a little bit better acceleration, which the John Bull has, could come in handy for that. So, let's do it this way. That stopped all our trains dead on the tracks, but it should now move our goods around faster. Okay, how many... There we go. That's at least half of those shares, right? So let's just see if we can... Oh no, I'm looking at their finances. That's not what I intended to do. Attempt merger. Liverpool and Manchester. Total price 1.5 million basic. We can do that. Attempt merger. Merger succeeded. Yeah, okay, we got full ownership of the first other guy's railroad company. Sambarad Kingdom Brunel. Isambard Kingdom Brunel. What is this? Investors? People? Quite a few investors voted in favor for this. Great Western takes over Liverpool and Manchester. Financial analysts are amazed. Well, that went quite well, I would say. Now what annoys me though is that these new trains of ours did not appear on the bottom. That's extremely annoying, actually. Because now I have to scroll between our routes that are actually going to be making money. Is there anything in these trains? Yeah, so we let them just kind of turn in their cargo and then we sell them, I think. Is there anything about to hit home here? Alright, I'm going to slow it down to 3 because I don't want to lose control of what's going on. Now we have a lot to pay attention to. We're going to sell these and replace them with other trains to operate on the line that we purchase. I'm not going to bother too much with connecting the line. We're just going to put them on some non-micromanaging thing. Economy forecast, growing prosperity, that's good. How is our stocks doing? My purchasing power is pretty good. George Hudson still holds a few of our shares. George Hudson is Middleton Colliery. The guy in control of that. We're actually going to buy all the outstanding shares in this, just so we have them. That's unfortunately not half, and that's all we can get. Just gonna have to hope the AI sells off some of the shares, otherwise we're gonna have to pay a lot to merge with these guys. Either way. Okay, so the Cardiff train is about to hit. Bam, there we go, and we are just going to retire it. I'm absolutely certain I want to retire that, yes. So I want that at the bottom of my list. Once we retire the other one on that line as well, then I'm going to look into that line to see what we can do there to make some profits. Alright, we got a couple of mail and a passenger out of Birmingham going to London. We made very good profits so far. Looks like our shares might split again, in fact. Okay, the red ones are basically the ones that are less important to me. This train is gonna get stopped by so much. Where even is it? Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. So we retire this train as well, and then we have our original 4 trains back up top here. Which is good. Then I can look into... That is not the railway that we purchased, actually. We purchased this one. Okay. That's cool. Wool. Why were they carrying wool? There is no demand for that in Rwanda. You know what, screw it. We're just gonna get a Prussian. Run it between the 2 cities. Something like this. Actually, I mean, it's pretty cheap to run these trains, so we'll just run 2 trains. Set it up, mail, passenger, passenger, and throw in a milk in Rwanda. And we'll just leave them to it, I guess. We're not going to pay too much attention to it. There we go. Don't care too much about them, just so they don't kind of like waste away there and don't make any profits. And now we take aim on making some more profits and getting some more shares and merging with the other guy. Once we do that, we can start paying out dividend to ourselves to get to 20 million. We're already a quarter of the way almost. Yeah, well, 20% of the way. A little bit in between there, but yeah. I mean, our revenue is down a little bit, but it's a lot of trains are about to hit the stations, so that's going to change fairly soon, I would assume. Right. The train I'm waiting to reach a destination is going to Birmingham, so I can just watch Birmingham for now. Boom times ahead, fantastic. Sucks that it happened exactly after I delivered 2 massive payloads. But yeah, okay, Birmingham. Load up like this, and the other train was in London unloading and can then load up 6 passenger cars. And we should be making bang from that. Alright, so if I look at this now. Alright. Don't even have half the shares there. Unfortunate, but let's see if we attempt a merger. We're gonna be needing a lot more, like, because we probably can't get it for like the cheapest share prices, given the fact that we don't actually hold a lot of shares. Well, we do, but we don't hold enough. We need to have more than 50% to go for the cheapest option. Because then we basically have share majority, and then we decide if we merge or not. It's not up to other investors. And they are expanding across the nation here, so they are rolling in some money. They're not doing too bad at all. So hopefully we can get a profitable line out of merging with them. without having to, you know, sell off trains. Because I would like my 4 big money makers to be train 1 to 4 on the list. And can we buy more for own shares like this bastard? Like this guy. Great Western, 14,000 shares. If I start paying out to that guy, then... Or if I start paying out dividend, he's gonna get a substantial share of it. We have 49, I mean, he's gonna get like 20-ish%. I mean, I'm not really doing proper math right now or anything, but just... He's gonna get a lot, and I don't want him to get anything, is basically what I'm trying to say. Well, let's focus on buying up the remaining company before we do anything else. No, let's just leave it at 4, I guess. We can probably turn it up to 5 at least. It's only these 4, and then the Birmingham train coming in here I need to worry about. And Oxford. Oxford could take some passengers. Oh, there's a lot of grain and such. Okay, hang on, let's pause this. We're gonna go with a do it Clinton. No, that's absolutely the wrong train. The John Bull, due to its acceleration. We're gonna go from Oxford to Slough to get some food going, and we'll send that food to Birmingham. We'll do this, wait for full load, load up on food. And yeah, well, that will just be that train doing its thing. But I think we can pick up some passengers and take over to Oxford. They should still be in good demand over there. Because we haven't turned in a single passenger yet to that location. Demand is okay in Birmingham and London as well, for sure. But yeah, let's just do it that way. And we'll see. I probably don't even have to bother with this at all. Great Western stock split 3 for 1. Investors are ecstatic about the chairman's performance. Salary increased by 12,000. Super duper. Revenue is a lot higher than our opponents, sir. And we're almost halfway to our net wealth goal. So, I want to keep an eye on this train because I'm going to change it around a little bit as we move along here. Yeah, how much would a merger cost? Well, we certainly need a little bit more money before we even start thinking about that. But, oh, hang on. Let's set this up correctly here. Bloom is off the economic boom, that's fine. That affects me and my opponents. We're gonna repay that loan right there, though. But yeah, buy back the bonds, basically. There's one Birmingham, we're on 5 million now. Now we were on 5 million anyway. And now that this guy's in Oxford, I guess he can just take the passengers with him, go to Slough. Produce the passengers. Yeah, something like that. You see, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Now I'm messing up. Like, there's an empty mail cart on this. There's 2 passenger trains, and passenger cars, and there's another passenger still waiting at the station. This is why I don't want to switch between, like, go up and down all the damn time. There's nothing in Birmingham. You know what? Actually, F that. We're gonna have this train simply be a Oxford to Slough. Now, let's maybe make it London. They want produce, yes, so let's just make a little bit more profit out of it. We'll just do the produce. I can't be bothered with the micromanagement, if I'm honest, so... Or like with the having to scroll back and forth, because it's just chaotic. It's gonna lead to me messing up something. So we do it this way. I keep my eye on the top 4 trains. And we make our profits. And I keep looking in here to see if maybe I can get some shares. Unfortunately, so far, no. Temp merger. Oh, the share price have dropped. Let's try 5.1 million. Merger succeeded. Nice, okay. Great Western takes over Middleton Colliery. And please don't have messed up my... Oh, god damn it. Alright, okay, you know what? We're doing this. Game speed, pause. I don't care about this train. Retire. You're in my way. You, Sir Liverpool train. In my way. Retire. Now what are the other ones that we got? Right, I want my trains to be the top 4. I don't understand why they just randomly add them wherever they feel like. What is this? What the hell is this train set to? Leeds. That's there. Okay, so I'm gonna send it to Leeds, then Middlesbrough, back to Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds. We'll just have some passenger going like this, I suppose. I don't really care, if I'm honest. It's just whatever. Manchester to Leeds. I mean, Manchester, Leeds, Middlesbrough, Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool. Doesn't really matter. Pow, like that. Was there any other trains we got from that? Seemingly there was. Okay, we'll run, we might set up some more trains. So where's this heading now? Liverpool. Okay, after Liverpool, go to Manchester, Leeds, Middlesbrough, Leeds, Manchester. Doesn't really matter. We'll just... that will be the loadout for all these trains. I don't particularly care. And was there any iron profits to be made here that I saw? I thought they were transporting some iron. Right. Who wants the iron exactly? Like, as a tool and die factory is in the same station radius. There's not going to be any... What? That's very unaffected by the AI. Where are they intending to profit from the iron, really? There's no demand for iron here. There's no demand for iron in Leeds. There's no demand for iron... Oh, there's demand for iron in Manchester. But Manchester's also where they produce the iron. So... yeah, no, we just... Yep, whatever. That line is whatever it is. We now have full control and we just need to make the money. So we are going to change dividend, max it out, and just pour all the money into my own pockets that we make every year, and just get rich. This is our get rich fast scheme right there. Right. And now this one's a little bit annoying to deal with. So we're going to just Oxford 3. We'll just have it not wait for anything. 3 produce, 2 passengers. 3 passengers. Who cares? It's gonna get slowed down a lot of times and stop here and stop there, but whatever. I think we're in a pretty good position though. Unfortunately, some of our shares are owned by other investors, like around 20-25%, I think. Which is unfortunate, because we're going to lose 25% of our income to his pockets instead of our own. Salaries increased, they're excited about my performance, very nice. We got 10 million, so we are, yeah, we're on the path to victory. Ooh, damn, that's a lot of stuff in London. Let's load that up and get it going. And honestly, postage stamps introduced in Britain. Mail production plus 25%. Engineers develop stone railway bridges. Very nice. Yeah, so I'm just keeping an eye on these trains, and that's all I'm doing. Just making sure that they are optimally outfitted for profit. And not slouching behind. We can put another 3 passengers on that one. Oh, see, there I messed up. It's going too fast now, but... it's going to Birmingham from London with nothing? Whatever. Okay, I think this might be a little bit overkill, because I am just losing control of things, so... this is why I don't like to have too quick game speeds, honestly. It just makes me miss things. And it fucks with my profit, so... yeah, not good. That being said, we're going to change the dividend even more and pay out even more to ourselves. Economy cooling, it's whatever, we just need to keep churning in money and then we're good. These other trains across our beloved nation can just do what they're doing. Well, it's not necessarily... Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Alright, so... Here comes the end of the year report pretty soon. Let's see what it says. Somewhat pleased with my performance. Cut salary by 5,000. Whatever. Revenue, this and that. Player net worth 12 million. Yeah. Okay, well. We have actually 2.8 million in cash now, so we're not in the negatives that way. Not that that would matter at this point anyway. I mean, the win is ours. We just need to make the money. And these trains are coming in with some substantial amount of money that's just gonna go right in our pockets. 25% of it to our competitors though, so that's great. The board of directors don't like the dividend as it stands and changed it. I don't care that much, if I'm honest. So when this reaches Birmingham, there will be one passenger there. This is about to reach London. You can just fill up like that. So if I go into here and change the dividend back up. This thing is in Birmingham and can load up 2 mail. Recession ahead. Well, shit can happen, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't tank our stock prices too much. Although it doesn't really matter at this point. We just need to keep paying ourselves a lot of money. Yeah, we are 3/4 of the way there almost. Economy crashes, well that's awesome. Doesn't really matter now that we have control of everything and are close to victory. Could tank our net worth a little bit for a little while, but it should be fine. We still have 13 years to finish what we're doing here, so it's not like we're struggling, I would say. It's about to hit London. Okay, yeah, just load up on 2 passenger cars there, I suppose. It's about to hit London as well for nothing. Don't load up on anything. This is in Birmingham. We give us some passengers. Okay, seemingly there's a lot less goods to transport right now. That is something that might impact us a little bit. But it only will slow down our way to victory, I believe. So we're going to change dividend once more. Nope, it's already pretty much maxed out. Alright, so annoyed with Sherman's performance, don't really care. Revenue's going down, I mean it's an economical crash. Depression, so can you really blame me that much? Our net worth didn't go up much, but it didn't go down in the depression. So that alone is pretty good. I want to see... Actually, I want to check these trains that we got. Running in Leeds and whatnot. They're not making a lot of profits. I guess some of them are. Lifetime profit of our actual trains that we purchased for ourselves, so the initial 4 are doing pretty good though. They lowered our dividend again. That is what it is. What you gonna do? I mean, we're winning. It's just a matter of time. I should probably look at something more interesting than... I'm just... like, all I'm doing right now is I'm looking at these things progress and then I just load up the trains when they get to the appropriate stations. Economic recovery, well, that would be certainly nice. What is the dividend right now? Let's... yeah, no, it's fine. It's good enough. Can't be any better. Can't be any higher, I mean. Better is subjective, I suppose. And they lowered it. Investors are highly annoyed. Well, you can just sell your shares then. I'll gladly take them. Net worth is up by another 250,000, so it's slowed down a little bit, but we should easily be able to power through her. Now, this might not be the most effective way to go through this scenario, but it works, right? I mean, it's good, and I feel like somewhat safe for the gold medal. I'm not risking too much. Has the other train loaded up? No, but it has now, and the remaining stuff in London here is this. There's another train about to reach London. It's going to pick up 1 passenger car. Yeah, I don't care about all these various... connect here to get some money, connect there to get some money off us. What I really need now is just a lot more dividend. Maybe buy some more shares from my own company, but I can't because this guy just knows that they are paying him way too much. Like if we look at his personal net wealth, right, he's got like a bunch in cash right now. And that's all thanks to me. So yeah, love making other people rich, that's really what I'm all about. Now, let's check out with this after this year now. Economy status is back to normal. Salary remains at 21,000. Revenue's up a little bit. Net worth is up a little bit. In another year or two, I think we should be there. It should be fine. Economy forecast growing prosperity. We change the dividend again, and in London there is a lot waiting to be picked up, so we're gonna pick that up. And this train's about to hit Birmingham. 2 trains are about to hit Birmingham, actually. Right, okay, pick up 2 mail, 4 passengers, let's go. Let's keep that money coming in. Famine in Ireland, potato virus causes another massive crop failure. All Irish farm production drops 55% and prices rise 75%. I guess that's good for people transporting it. Less to transport, but more value for what you... No, I guess that's bad, actually. You transport half, but you don't get double the value. So yeah, that's bad. Not for us, we're not in Ireland. I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna just see if we can change the dividend a little bit more again. There we go. This train's about to hit Birmingham, and there's nothing waiting for it in Birmingham. We can change the dividend a little bit higher. I'm pretty sure. It just won't let me go any higher. Although there is more to take from. Yeah, I guess they don't want me to rinse the company out, I don't know. Now they're pleased with me again, it's been a while. Increased my salary by 2,000. Revenues are slightly up. Net worth is slightly up, and we need 1.2 million more to win. Exactly on the dot. Couldn't be a more clean number. 1.2 million. Can we make that in a year? Let's find out. We would have already won if that AI didn't have shares in the company. But okay, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Loading up a bunch here. Boom times ahead. Well, that's exactly what I want to have. So, London, I'll load it up like this. Ah, there we go. There we go. Bold and brave, my good man. Should make good reading in the history books. Question mark. Why a question mark? Give me an exclamation mark. What is this? Huh, oh well, either way. There is rumor of knighthood from the palace. Ah, yes, well, good sir, I will take that. Either way, so there you have it. That's one way you can do it. It's a little bit RNG based early on, like which cities are best to connect to. We connected to Birmingham straight away, and I think that's a good decision. Not to toot my own horn too much there, but yeah, we got good income from passengers, going a little bit long haul like that. And yeah, we still have another 9 years in which we can operate here to get the gold medal, so we did it in a little bit over half the time we had at our disposal, and I am happy with the results. So, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, I would appreciate if you would consider leaving a like on it, and maybe even subscribing to my channel if you want to see some more of my content in the future. It will be Railroad Tycoon 2, obviously, and, well, a bunch of other games. Well, at the moment I'm mainly planning to do nostalgia type content, but the plan for that might change in the future, but I'm foreseeing the next year or so of this YouTube channel there will be more nostalgia type gameplay than other stuff. Either way, that being said, you can catch me in the next one, and have a good one.